Listen up, Rangers, welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name is Arnaz.
And this is the second time we've done this video because we fudged it up to begin with.
So we're just going to do a quick one, right?
Yeah, we're going to try and go over this quick, but today we're going to do a spoiler version of our review of Star Wars, even though we didn't do a one previously.
So, I got the first spoiler.
What?
Kylo Ren, he's a bad guy.
Ah.
I know, right?
I didn't know that.
Oh, I know, right?
It's crazy, right? Yeah. What you guys think of Star Wars? Listen in the comment section below. But anyways, we're just going to talk about the things that we liked about it, and then we'll just move on to some stuff we didn't like about Star Wars.
Wait, you didn't like Star Wars?
I'm not saying...
I'm
just saying right now...
You guys heard him. He said he didn't like Star Wars.
It's not exactly what I said. I liked this movie. I did. It's not like it didn't have problems, but I still liked it overall. It's definitely better than the prequels.
Those movies never existed.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about them. But anyways, for some of the things that God damn it, Paul.
Come on.
You said you had it silent.
It wasn't
silent. In there. You're failing me, Arnaz.
I'm not failing you because somebody from 286 area code called me. I don't even know who lives in 286. Where's 286 area code? Anyways,
for some of the stuff I liked, all the new characters in this movie. Oh. I didn't really hate a single one of them, except for one that didn't really get enough screen time, I felt. But
Captain Phasma?
Captain Phasma, which will go into the parts I didn't like in a little bit.
Well, don't hate her because they didn't give her screen time.
I didn't hate her. It's just, there's nothing there for me to like. But she's just kind of there to let us know what Finn's name was and to deactivate the shields on the Death Star thing. The sun-absorbing planet station of Doom. Which I guess there's something like that in the expanded universe, I heard.
Really?
There's like a little ship that actually takes out suns, and it's kind of like that, just not as big.
So they just made a bigger version of it then, huh?
Yeah, essentially. Also, the Star Killer that they called the base is actually Luke Skywalker's last name was going to be in the original trilogy, and that's also like the homage to the Force Unleashed character, Star Killer.
Huh? Didn't know that.
But I really liked this movie. I liked Finn. I thought they did a pretty good job on him. Rey, I still actually really liked. She's actually one of my more favorite lead female characters I've seen in a long time. The only thing that kind of sucked about her was that she was really good at everything she did, which I guess you could kind of just toss it up to the Force.
Why would that suck for? That just means she's amazing in the long run.
I don't know. It just kind of reminded me of the Master Chief.
Touche.
Where he's just kind of he's just good at everything.
No matter what it is, he's just I'm better than you.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a hard time with anything. Rey didn't really have too much hard time with much either in this film. Not saying she wasn't sweet. They actually did a really good job with the acting for her. But it just seemed like they maybe could have, I guess, she could have had more conflict other than getting stopped once by the Force and having to have that back and forth with Kylo Ren. Or Ben Solo. Hey, spoiler.
Wait, what?
And then that's when she starts using knowing more about the Force, and then she's like, "You'll never be you're afraid you won't be like Darth Vader." And he's like, "Wait, whoa." Also, I love Kylo Ren.
See, this is where we differ a little bit. I love Kylo Ren as long as the helmet is on. I understand what Steve's going to say here in about 30 seconds.
Someone tell him he's wrong.
I understand that. But when he takes that helmet off, he just looks like a spoiled brat.
Because he is.
And that's
who he is in this movie.
And like I said, I knew what he was going to say. It was just the one aspect that bugged me. It's just, I wasn't feeling it.
Well, it's just when he gets first introduced, when he has that confrontation with Poe, which is the one part we had to redo in this video because I kept calling him Bo.
Oh, Bo? We were close
enough.
I
looked it up and I'm like, oh, God.
We were close.
Which Poe is pretty cool, too. He's actually a pretty hilarious character in this movie. But getting back on to Kylo Ren, I like at the beginning where he's a super badass.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Where they capture Poe, and he catches the laser bolt in the air, and then just kind of leaves it there, and they have their back and forth. Which one thing going off a little bit is, I like that first encounter that they have because you kind of tell this isn't your normal Star Wars when they're just Kylo Ren staring at Poe, and he's like, "So, which one of us is talking first?" You wouldn't hear that in any of the older Star Wars movies. Which I kind of like, because it kind of updates it a little bit, and you kind of see where the series is going. But then again, it kind of takes you out of it a little bit, because it's not officially like Star Wars when you start hearing that dialogue.
But I like that
Like,
part.
droid, please. From Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like those weird little things. Because it's just like, they don't talk like that in Star Wars.
But that's what I liked
But I'm
about
okay
it.
with it.
Yeah.
Especially since they already forgot about the Jedis and the Force and stuff, and Luke's just a myth, even though he blew up the Death Star, helped destroy the Death Star twice.
That's how myths are born, man.
So, of course, people are going to kind of like evolve, and the lingo's going to change, just like how it does in today's society. We don't talk the same way we did in the 1920s as we do nowadays.
Yeah, that's why it made it better. That's why I liked it. It was more updated.
But it was hilarious, especially with like BB-8, who is like my favoriteest thing ever now.
That is the best thing ever.
They sold an action figure. Like, when I actually find a nice BB-8 action figure, I'm buying it.
I want one of those, like the ones you control with your phone, I think.
Oh, yeah, where you can drive around. The problem is, the thing's so tiny.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like maybe that big.
Oh, sad day.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. But I just love, like, that droid, I swear, had, like, some of the best acting in that entire movie.
Oh.
And it's just like, I'm not even saying it's a bad thing, it's just I really gravitated towards that character, especially, like, around the ship. And he's like, hey, little droid, you should, tell me the location of your base so we can, we could get her to trust us. And he's like, she's like, so she pops up, like, where's the base? And BB's like, beep, 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 beep. And she's like, oh, it's there. He's like, yeah, it's there. And then he's like, thumbs up the droid. Droid's like, yeah. I was like, sold. You're now my favoriteest thing ever.
I want that action figure toy of him.
Oh, he's amazing. And then Finn was also done really well. By,
I had a few issues with him.
What's that guy's name? John Bodega?
John Bodega?
I think so. I'm not looking it up.
No.
But anyways, he did a really good job with him because he's actually really funny in this movie. The only thing that kind of sucked about him was I didn't quite get why he became a good guy.
That's what I was just going to say. I had one issue with him. I understand, like, he's a stormtrooper. They're not clones anymore. They're just stolen babies.
Yeah, they're like the Foot Soldiers.
Yeah.
They're like the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And that's what I was going to say is, like, what was his reasoning behind? He's been brainwashed. It's been made clear. What made him so special where he...
Yeah, because the only thing I could kind of get from it is that was, like, his first battle, and he pretty much has...
And that guy left it on his face.
Yeah. And he just freaks out. He's like, I can't do this. And then he just, like, goes and rescues the pilot because he needs a pilot.
Yeah, it was one of those things.
With this character, I really liked him, and I like the dynamic that he had with Finn. But other than that, he's just like a badass pilot.
Poe?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Bo, you mean?
No, Poe. No. But he's just a badass pilot, so that's really all you get out of the movie with his character, even though he's actually really well done.
I didn't like too much. Like, there was nothing about him. Besides the funny parts in the ship, that's about it.
Yeah, and then like watching him pilot an X-Wing is amazing. Yeah, but other than that, then you think he's dead for the most of the movie until he rescues them on whatever that planet is that has the Katina. Where Rey finds the lightsaber. And then some of the other stuff I like this movie are like the action set pieces are really, really well done.
I like that it's all like actual creatures and not CGI junk.
That's really cool too. Whereas they try to use like, if it could be practical effect, they use practical effects, and I really love it, especially with me having appreciation towards giant monster movies. I really like seeing actual real things in a movie, which I kind of wish they would have done with Jurassic World. Even though I like Jurassic World, but it just kind of sucked that there really wasn't anything that you could really like latch onto.
Well, like, what is it? First Jurassic Park? Was that like actual dinosaur?
Yeah, well, it's animatronics.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, they all have animatronics in them.
Yeah.
It's just the newest one, actually, is the one that had the most CGI in it. Actually, it pretty much was all CGI except for where he's holding on to the... What exactly? It's kind of like it's like a plesiosaurus? Or something like that. I'll probably be corrected, but when he's holding on to it and it dies in his arms.
Yeah.
That was an animatronic. Which was sweet.
So that's what made this movie. It's what made me like it more, is it was all like actual things, not CGI junk.
Yeah, well, the fight scenes are really cool too, because I like how they didn't seem over choreographed. Like if you watch like the prequels of like, especially with the lightsaber fights, where it's just a lot of people like spinning, jumping, and just kind of like twirling swords around. Well, in this one, it kind of reminded me of more like Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, where it's just kind of like swinging the sword with the intent to kill, not just to show. It's not just there to show off.
So you're telling me Luke Skywalker didn't crap on this movie?
I know, right? Well, like, especially like Kylo Ren, where they're doing the fight scene, like moving away from that just a sec. With one of my favorite parts is when Finn fights the stormtrooper.
Oh, the guy with that.
Yeah, with that weird electric baton, which I wish that would have been Captain Phasma.
Like,
would have been the one to beat
been...
him, and then that kind of gives them a reason later for them to like kidnap her and use her to deactivate it
and throw her in
the garbage chute.
Yeah,
yeah, like that would have gave it a little bit more like feel for me. But then again, it was like a heads up that Finn isn't amazing with a lightsaber.
Oh,
because he gets his butt handed to him by a stormtrooper, and then when
he's just a basic guy who got a hold of a lightsaber. That's it.
Yeah, which is weird too, because in the trailer and stuff, they kind of made it feel like he was the one that was gonna have the Force abilities, and not Rey.
Oh, I remember the trailer you're talking about, like the forest fight scene.
Yeah, where like they show him, he's like, and then he kind of has that like oh crap kind of look when Kylo Ren was like walking up on him.
Yeah.
Which when he fights Kylo Ren, it's not even like a fair fight, even though it just didn't seem as one sided as you would think though.
No, he still got a few shots on him.
Yeah, he still got like a few shots, but Kylo ends up winning in the end, even though Kylo's also got like the blaster bullet in him. And I love how he's just sitting there like just banging on his chest where he's got shot because he's like trying to draw the pain because that's the dark side.
Chewie put him through the pain, trust me.
Oh yeah.
Bam!
But that fight scene, especially like when they were fighting Rey, was really sweet. Even though eventually it just became like, okay, so she's kind of on her toes, and then he's like, I can train you to the dark side, and then she's like, the Force, and then kicks his ass at the end.
Poor guy.
Yeah, which is like the port, like, just where you even feel more that Kylo Ren is not the badass that he's portrayed to be. Especially when we saw his temper tantrums, which I think are like probably one of the funnier things in the movie. Like when the stormtroopers are walking up, and they're just like, yup.
They just walked away. They're like, we do not want to have nothing to do with this guy right now.
Yeah, and then I guess the final thing we'll talk about that was my favorite thing in this movie was Han Solo, Harrison Ford. I love that it wasn't just Harrison Ford in a Han Solo outfit. It actually felt like Han Solo.
Oh, you telling me he didn't do the whole Indiana Jones thing?
Yeah, we just kind of like sleptwalked the role pretty much. Yeah. Just like grumpy Harrison Ford doing something. No, he was actually really good in the movie. Like, it was great to see him back. He was hilarious. I love the scenes with him. Even some people had complaints of like where you first get introduced around that weird ship after capturing the Millennium Falcon, and then there's that scene with him in between the two rival gangs, and then the alien spaghetti monster things get loose.
The things with
where it kind of reminds me of like Men in Black in a way.
That thing was just Japanese hentai, man. It was.
Yeah, essentially, it was dragging Finn to the nether regions. You know what I mean?
It was just Japanese hentai. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, but even like those scenes where like he's like talking back and forth with the rival gangs and stuff, it's hilarious. Especially when like he gets Chewie's blaster.
He's like, man, I love this thing.
And then this kind of transitions into some of the things I had a problem with this movie. Is even though I loved Harrison Ford's acting for this, I didn't care when he died.
All right, so we're talking about things we didn't like now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to be sure, because that's one thing I did not like is that he died.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a problem with it because when you're watching the movie, you kind of figured he was the one that was going to be going eventually. Yeah. The storytelling was just there.
That's where I was going to go. Is I knew the moment that scene happened where they were talking about how he never comes back or she's worried he'll never come back. I instantly knew that he was the character that was going to die in this movie.
Yeah, and it was just
I was upset about that.
There wasn't enough build up for me, or at least like the surprise factor to really hit it home. Because you learn early on that it's their kid, is Kylo Ren. And it would have been nice to maybe like kept that like a mystery throughout most of the movie, and then have it like during that scene reveal be like maybe Kylo Ren like I heard like a guy was talking about Screen Junkies was like this, and it kind of made sense. Is maybe like kept it like quiet throughout the majority of the movie, and then reveal that he's his son towards the later portion of the film. Like during the static part, maybe like you could talk Han Solo, be like, "Oh, I killed your son," blah 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 blah. Kind of like how Obi-Wan said that Darth Vader killed Luke's father. And kept it like that, and then like when he takes off the helmet, it reveals that he's actually Ben Solo.
Yeah, but if they did that, then like throughout the whole movie, you wouldn't know that he was like that whole spoiled brat thing. Because like as long as he kept the helmet
they
on,
still had like the signs, which they still had the signs anyways.
Yeah,
but
it's like one of the things is like if they kept the helmet on throughout the whole movie and only took it off at that part, you wouldn't know that he's this spoiled weak brat actually. Because like whenever he had his helmet on, he actually looked like a badass, and he actually fought like a badass. But when he takes the helmet off, you can just tell. That's when he starts throwing tantrums and
with his wavy feathered hair.
yeah, that's when you knew. So
and they still could have even like had his helmet come off during that scene and just not revealed who he was, because it's not like she knew who the heck he was at the time. It's only her, Han Solo and Leia knew who Kylo Ren actually was. Some of the other parts I didn't like. Captain Phasma. I wish they did more with her, especially with like much anticipation that you had for that character in the movie, especially like all the toys being released for Captain Phasma and stuff, and you're like, sweet, we're gonna have like an actual like female villain in these movies. Awesome. And they didn't do nothing with her. She's like Boba Fett. I want to love her, but I need reasons to.
Isn't there a Boba Fett movie coming out?
I know there's rumors of it. There's the same with the Han Solo, and then I know officially there's the was it Rogue One?
Yeah.
The one that
I heard about
doing?
that.
Yeah, like you got like they're doing spin-offs of these. Like I hope they do Boba Fett.
Technically, what I heard is that every year, so next one will be one of the movies that come out.
Well, I know next year I think it's supposed to be the Garth Edwards one.
Yeah, and then next year after that will be actually next Star Wars, and then that will be one of the spin-offs, and then another Star Wars movie. And
which I'm fine with that. I'd rather have that than like how Marvel does it, where you get like 2 or 3 of them a year now. It's just like because we're getting like Deadpool, and then we get Captain America, and then we're probably getting one towards the end of the year. It's just like, come on.
I can't
Where's
afford...
my giant monster movies like these?
I can't afford all these movies, man.
And then the only other part that kind of was a bit of a bummer was seeing Luke Skywalker only at the end. Which it wasn't really a bummer that I saw him towards the end. Like, I kind of figured it when you're watching the movie, the way the story was.
You just didn't like that whole thing, like
I felt like they stuck on him too long. Like, either they should have, like, maybe, like, had it pan and then, like, he said something, or just had him, like, reveal that it's Luke Skywalker and then but they didn't do it.
See, I would have liked it where if there was,
like
just
Grimlock in Age of Extinction.
Why?
Because Grimlock didn't talk either, and it made me angry.
What should he talk?
I think he should have. Yeah.
You think that would have made a movie better?
Would have made me a little bit happier with it. Like, me Grimlock, me king. Like something like that, instead of just like his ass handed to him by Optimus. I don't even want to talk about that movie. I hate that movie.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the good movie.
Yes. But I was like, I wish that Luke would have talked. And then, what was the other thing I was thinking of? Oh, R2-D2. I hate how he was just a plot device.
It was just there to move the story
He's pretty much
forward.
there to finish the movie.
Yeah.
There wasn't like any other purpose for him. Like the story with how the movie was scripted didn't really give you a way to get to Luke Skywalker towards the end of the movie. So I was kind of wondering how that was going to happen. And then you remember like, oh, R2-D2's powered down because Luke went away. And you're like, oh, Rey's getting the Force back. So now, of course, R2-D2's going to activate. He's like, hey, I had the entire map this entire time.
See, when I watched
Moving on to the sequel.
When I watched that scene, is like, I remember the bad guys were talking that they had a map. So I thought they were going to steal it from them somehow, you know?
Yeah, well, it's just because, what was it? That she's seen the map, so
Yeah.
he's going to get it out of her head.
Yeah,
but
but
then he could.
They had rest of the map, though. What I'm saying is when Kylo Ren was talking how they found it in the archives, rest of the map, but they were missing that piece.
Yeah, well, I imagine it was like Snoke had it.
Yeah,
like,
so I thought that they were going to take it from them.
Also,
but
who the hell's Snoke?
Snooki?
Oh, whoever the hell that guy is. Looks like Smeagol, who's also done by Andy Serkis. So, makes sense.
I've never heard of him, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah, I'm sure it's a new character. I know a lot of Star Wars stuff, and that's...
So what is he, like, the most baddest Sith Lord, the only one who survived? Or
well, it's
what?
weird, too, because like they don't even reference people as Darths in this. Like, Kylo Ren's like, he's one of the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
So, you don't really know what that's all about either.
Oh, I don't know.
Like, it's nice that, like, it kind of gives me reason to want to go see the next movie, but it maybe would have been nice to maybe explain it a little bit in this one.
Maybe they'll explain in the next one.
Kind of maybe have this movie a little bit more self-contained. Because it kind of relies on you're going to go see the next movie regardless. Kind of like the prequels did. I hate to compare it to that, but kind of like that.
Don't you talk about that.
Well, the other thing, too, is did this movie remind you a lot of A New Hope? In the structuring. With the robot having to go off into the desert to get away from the bad guys, and then people find them.
Keep talking.
And then they go to a cantina, and then they go to a space station, and the space station can blow up planets. And then there's a X-Wing TIE fighter fights, and they have to fly through the trenches to get to the hole.
You got it.
And then a mentor dies in the middle, towards the end by the bad guy, and everybody gets stronger because of it.
But I still liked it.
Oh yeah, it's still great. Like, there's some other references to the other movies too. Don't get me wrong.
Well, there's a lot of references.
But that's kind of cool that it's kind of like treading familiar ground at least. But then like they change it a little bit where like the bad guy, instead of being tempted by the light side, is light side and he wants to be dark side.
Yeah. Not
the other way around, which is cool.
Which I understand, like, why he killed his father, to go more towards the dark side.
Yeah, he's trying to make himself more evil because he's too much light side and he wants to be more dark. Is pretty much what he's trying to do, instead of he's too much dark side and wants to be light, like Anakin.
So you think towards the end he's actually going to go to the good side?
I don't know. That's kind of weird. I would hope that you would just become progressively more evil. Or maybe they introduce somebody else that's also really evil, because that'd be kind of weird if it ends like Return of the Jedi. There's like, Kylo's a good guy again. Yay.
That would be sad.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird. I hope they do something different than that.
But then, like, it would be sad if he doesn't, if he stays a bad guy, and then Princess Leia would be, like, pissed, because he's killed his dad, her...
Maybe she wants revenge for him killing Han Solo.
So was she going to kill her own son?
Maybe. Or maybe he gets rid of her.
That's
like the full shift to the dark side.
So I'm starting to hear all the other Star Wars movies mixed in there then.
Yeah, it's pretty much, we gotta wait till the next movie to really grasp what's really going on with this. But, to finish this up, as a standalone movie, I actually really liked it.
A lot better than the other
It's definitely better than the prequels. It's not without flaws, but there's definitely a lot more things I really loved about this movie than I really didn't like about this movie.
But if you sit here and pick it apart, every single movie, dude, you'll find a ton of flaws like that,
Yeah, I can't say crap. Like, I love old Godzilla movies, and...
God,
Those are by far... This movie's got way more production value than those things ever did.
So it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, if I had to give it a ranking, I would say like 4 out of 5.
Definitely around that area. 4.5, maybe out of 5.
Yeah, I was really like, especially when I was watching the movie, the entire time I was like, this is sweet. And then sitting here trying to do this videos where you start nitpicking.
Yeah.
I was fine with it until I actually thought about it.
Like, I looked at the clock, like I sat down at 3:30, the movie started. And the next thing I knew, it was like almost 6 o'clock, the movie was over. I did not even know what time it was.
Yeah, that's how... But we need to keep going with this.
Yeah, like when the part came up with him, I was like, no, it's going to end. And it ended, I was like, no.
Why? I gotta wait another year and a half.
I was like, it was not fair.
Unacceptable. But what did you guys think about Star Wars The Force Awakens? Please let us know in the comments section below what you guys thought of this film. And help us defeat those kaijus, or I guess stormtroopers, by hitting that like button. Subscribe to become a ranger today, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.